Welcome back, everybody, to another video. If you like anything home theater related topics, don't forget to subscribe. I'll make this quick video on how best to optimize your speaker settings when you're using a subwoofer. If you're not using a sub, set them to large. Ideally, you want to let your subwoofer handle all the low frequency effects, whether it's a tower or bookshelf speaker. So for the majority of the setups, you should set all your speakers to small. That is now common knowledge in 2023. But what isn't common knowledge is when you should set them to large. If you have a sub that you can connect directly to your speaker, particularly either your front left or front right channels, or just your center channel or center speaker. In my case, for my projector room, I connect a REL T9X sub directly to the Martin Logan's 50XTI center speaker's low frequency binding post with a speak-on cable. I set my fronts to large, center to large, surrounds to small, and heights, of course, to small. And crossover settings all to 60 Hz, including the subwoofer. The other two subs is a 10-inch Sonance and a 12-inch SVS SB2000 Pro. On a side note, when I ran all speakers to small, my subs crossover was set to 80 Hz along with every other crossover when everything was set to small. So to recap, if you have a dedicated sub that can connect directly to the speaker to handle all the low frequencies, synchronizing them together will optimize your speakers to its fullest potential. This is when I would set your fronts, center to large. And believe me, it's the best and closest sound to a commercial speaker. For instance, in the commercial theater, when I was watching Amazing Spider-Man, when it first came out, the scene when Andrew Garfield shoots his web in the sewers, the sound it makes when the web comes out is a deep thump. I was unable to reproduce that deep sound at home, whether the speaker setting was set to small or large. But with the direct connection from the center channel to the subwoofer, the dedicated subwoofer, I am happy to say I now am able to reproduce that thump that was almost non-existent before. And it's kind of subtle, but I remember that experience in the theater, and I wanted to reproduce that. Frequency has to be a deep one that comes from your center channel, which center channel is just mostly all dialogue. And unless you have a real LFE, your left front and center channel, like the theater, the vertical big speakers that has a sub built into it, unless you have that, you're not going to get that deep thump, the deep tone that if a sound comes through that center channel. So that is my experience with that. And if you just have bookshelves, even though your tower speakers has a radiator or a sub built in, I would still set all the speakers to small and let all the LFE run by your subwoofer. I found that was best in my setup in the main room. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whichever sounds best to you is all that matters. Comment below how you guys actually run your setup, large or small. But that will wrap it up for this video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hooded Dragons out.